Good morning and welcome. Hello. It is the 11th day of October 2021. It is 7:30 more or less on this Monday morning. It is a bright and shiny fall afternoon. Morning, day, numbers, words, things. I am your guide to all the tabletop role-playing game news, weather, and sports, even though I apparently cannot speak the OGGM, and it's time to take a look at what's going on in the world of tabletop role-playing games. And of course, the number one story is what is now referring to as the ship apocalypse. All role-playing game books pretty much, and everything else has pretty much been delayed. We don't know for how long. We do know that Wizards already has announced that their products that we were supposed to be getting this month have been delayed. Strixhaven has been delayed. Fizbin's Treasury has been delayed. And the Rules Expansion gift set has been delayed. So if you're expecting to hand Strixhaven over to one of your favorite D&D Magic players, it's been delayed. And since Wizards of the Coast can't seem to stay out of the news in regards to news, we also have the stuff that dropped over the week about the Unearthed Arcana Travelers of the Multiverse, hinting at the possibility of a return of Spelljammer or Planescape or Star Frontiers, or perhaps a combination of both, a Planescape Spelljammer combo exploring the Wizards of the Coast D&D multiverse. We also had the drop of the new rules from Wizards of the Coast post Witchlight. So I guess Witchlight is the new Tasha's, as opposed, in the definition of what was legal before and now what's legal now. Tasha's was the one that was supposed to be the beginning point. Everything after Tasha's was supposed to be the new norm. But because we've seen that the new norm has already changed a couple times, I guess Wizards of the Coast is now saying Witchlight is the stopgap. Everything before Witchlight is one chunk of information, and everything after Witchlight is a different chunk of information, and you're supposed to play post Witchlight. So, sorry, Tasha, you don't count any? I don't know. We do know, speaking of companies that aren't Wizards of the Coast, EN Publishing's Level Up Advanced 5e Kickstarter has started. It's a 600-page hardcover rule book which features a complete overhaul of the 5e rules, making it a completely, pretty much, their version of 5e, much like Pathfinder was Pazio's version of D&D, except of course they called it Pathfinder. These guys are calling it Advanced 5th Edition, which is interesting because Advanced 5th Edition is one of the proposed names for the product that's coming out in 2024. Whether that's going to be a thing or not, we don't know, because Wizards of the Coast is not letting us know. But how is that going to affect what these guys did? Because they just released a Kickstarter for a game that they're calling Level Up Advanced 5th Edition. Of course, EN Publishing has spent the last 2 years making all the material for Advanced Level Up 5th Edition available for free on the web, so why would I buy your 600-page book when you already gave it to me for free? And of course, if you can tell by the picture we're looking at, Wizards of the Coast and WizKids has announced the release of the Terrasque Figure for D&D. This Terrasque is a pre-painted scale miniature, 11 inches tall and almost 16 inches wide, making it larger than even the big old dragon figure that was released last year. And we're expecting it to be pre-ordered now, but it won't be released until December of next year for a whopping retail price of $400. So if you've got $400 extra and really feel the need to have a Terrasque figure that's a foot tall and almost 2 feet wide, there you go. And apparently I cannot talk this morning. Mophedius has announced the release of Star Trek Adventures IDQ 5 Years, a tie-in to the IDW comic book series covering the final year of the 5-year mission of the USS Enterprise, commanded by Captain James T. Kirk. This 26-page PDF, which Mophedius graciously has shown us a picture of, provides information covering the political schism within the Federation caused by the originalists, factions within the humans, androids, Telestians, and Vulcans, who believe the Federation's expansionist policies have diluted their influence in the original intention of the Federation. So this is a game, basically, if you're interested in knowing what happened in Jim's last year on the Enterprise, here you go. PAX Unplugged, the tabletop role-playing gaming convention in Philadelphia, announced the convention will reopen this December. The convention will require full vaccinations for attendance, and masks will be mandatory. RPG historian John Peterson posted an updated timeline of the creation of Dungeons & Dragons to his blog. The timeline is based on handwritten notes from Gary, Dave Anderson, Dave Merguez, and others. They're to create as close as a definitive timeline to we have to the creation of the game. So right now it does seem that they're still saying that Chainmail was 1972 and the publication of the Dungeons & Dragons bot set was 1974. John Peterson's book Game Wizards, The Epic Battle for Dungeons & Dragons is set to release Tuesday, October 12th, which is tomorrow. So if you were any confusion about the D&D timeline, will now be further confused because now this individual is saying, different things about D&D, which of course will just mean, oh no, this is the way they originally intended it to be because look at these notes. And of course, we also know about the Twitch Amazon hack. God, I cannot talk this morning. I'm sorry. Still feeling the effects of that third shot, I guess. I got my third booster shot for the COVID vaccine, and that one kicked my ass. But we've already talked about it already. The Twitch stream Amazon hack released tons of information about Twitch streamers, including how much money certain Twitch streamers had made over the past year. The biggest news being how much money Critical Role made over the past year. They made $9 million-ish, and for some reason people are shocked and amazed that they made that much money. And, I already talked about it, got a little trouble talking about it, and at the end of the day, my opinion hasn't changed. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised that other people are surprised that they made that much money. And speaking of controversies, we had three that went on over the past couple days. Apparently, there was something going on the MechWarrior online thingy where people were using the word trans rights, and those groups got banned because MechWarrior online developers felt the term trans right was political, and they want to keep politics out of their game. Piranha Games apologized and reversed the decision and made the statement that users will be unbanned and the terms return to their original names. So apparently they want people to be happy with their pride, and you're welcome in our community, and I'm happy with anybody to share their pride, said the people who run the MechWarrior online. And speaking of online boards, we do know that there was some controversy earlier this week revolving Vendor Satanas and the Exalted Funeral Board, and somebody getting banned for claiming they were a fan of Vendor Satanas. But since then, an Exalted Funeral has said that they have no control over what happens on the Discord as it's fan run and not officially run by them. They do apologize for any slights or any bannings, and they are working to get that individual unbanned, but they do not run, or at least they claim they don't run the board. So they are sorry to the individual that got banned because it's fan run. Humble Bumble and Frog God Games have partnered for the Tomb of Lost Magic for 5th edition bundle. This bundle is $18, which features 31 digital titles, including the 5 volumes Tomb of Horrors, Instant Encounters, Book of Lost Spells, Orcus of the 34th Level, Treacherous Traps, Tomb of Horrors of 2021, and more. For $38, you can get a physical copy of the Book of Lost Spells. These are all optional rules for 5th edition, so before you bring them to your game, make sure your Dungeon Master is okay with them. We do know also that the Legend of Foxmatica trailer dropped on Amazon for the forthcoming 2022 Legends of Voxmatica, Voxmachina, the Critical Role animated cartoon that's coming out next year. And finally, we have copies of Fizbin's Treasury of Dragons has somehow snuck out early. So we have a look at the table of contents. And, I had questioned how it was going to be working out. And because we're doing it by CR instead of alphabetical. But now it looks like they're changed that. Because I'm looking at the table of contents and it is neither done by CR or alphabetical. So chapter 1 is the character creation. We have new draconic races, some subclasses, draconic feats. Chapter 2 is draconic magic. Chapter 3 is how to roleplay a dragon. Chapter 4 is information on dragon lairs and dragon hordes. Chapter 5 is the Draconomocian. Oh, God, I can't talk today. Book gives you information on the different dragons: amethyst, black, blue, brass, bronze, copper, crystal, deep, dragon turtle apparently now a dragon, emerald, fairy, gold, green, moonstone, red, sapphire, shadow, silver, topaz, and white. And then we have the bestiary. So we have it alphabetical, but not alphabetical. And definitely, if they said they were doing it by critical... challenge rating. Brain not working today. I apologize. Yeah, okay. So let's... First one, amethyst dragon. Then it's ancient, adult, young, wormling. So they're doing it backwards, challenge rating, not alphabetical. Because ANADYUAM is not alphabetical. And I guess it's backwards challenge rating from highest to lowest as opposed to lowest to highest. And then it's AM, AN, AS, AS, CH, CR, DE, DR. Yeah, so it's alphabetical, reverse challenge rating, not alphabetical. Ancient, adult, young, wormling. Which is not... So it's reverse challenge rating, not alphabetical. Yeah. It hurts my brain to look at this. That is so counterintuitive to make it alphabetical, but not make it alphabetical. Do it by challenge rating, do it by reverse challenge rating, and then to have the lowest challenge rating be not correct, because it should be wormling crystal dragon. Instead, it's crystal dragon wormling. So yeah, this hurts my dyslexic brain. Probably why I'm having so much trouble talking right now. So thank you, Wizards of the Coast. That's twice this month you have managed to completely break me with your nonsensical logic. So remember when I said, the reason why I got called a Wizards of the Coast panderer, and I defend Wizards of the Coast because I believe that at some point in time, all these ideas of theirs made sense in intent, but the problem is just the way Wizards of the Coast goes about making the information available that is so confusing and stupid and insulting. Well, based between the information we got last week about how we're supposed to look at races and classes now, and just looking at this table of contents for Dragonomicon, and I still have no idea what we're to expect from Strixhaven, or why the Dragonomicon Fizbin's book's available to people before Strixhaven, even though Strixhaven was supposed to be before the book, which means I guess the book that was supposed to be out after is shipped before, which makes no sense. So this table of contents makes no sense. The original idea made no sense. Let's do it by challenge rating instead of alphabetical. But now we've changed our mind. We're going to do it alphabetical, reverse challenge rating, and have that not be alphabetical, and then have the last one make the least amount of sex because it says amethyst dragon wormling when it should say wormling amethyst dragon, because then it goes young, adult, ancient. And on that note, we will leave you. I am your number one guide to all of the tabletop role-playing game news, weather, sports, and confusion, the OGGM. If you appreciate my content, let me know. If you don't appreciate my content, let me know. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, please subscribe. Help me hit 1,000 subs. And check out my new merch. I have merch now. I have an official Teespring merch thing with one whole piece of merch on it. So check it out. The link is in the description. And thank you. We will be back with more news, weather, sports, and weirdness as the week progresses. Because, controversy, Critical Role, Wizards of the Coast, nonsense. Till then, happy holidays. And get off my land.